you're aware, with the deepest sense of responsibility and with a passion to serve, I have today picked up the nomination form to run for the office of Governor of Bayelsa State in the November 2019 election. Thank you.
Yes, he has spoken to us. We take one of two questions and then Nelson.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Betty Ogumari. I report for the nation. We have been here and receiving quite a number of aspirants from Bayelsa for this governorship election. We are expecting the deputy governors too. Don't you feel the number is unwieldy?
Thank you for your question. As you know, what we practice in Nigeria is democracy. And the guidelines that you see clearly from the Constitution is that once you meet the minimum constitutional requirements provided by the Nigerian Constitution, then you are eminently qualified to run for office. And I can assure you that all those who have indicated interest that I'm aware of to run for the office of Governor of Bayelsa State meet the minimum constitutional requirements as to age and all the other critical requirements. And clearly, you know that anybody who seeks to run for office is seeking to serve the best interests of their people. And therefore, I think it would be unwise in any way to consider it unwieldy to have too many. At the end of the day, it is for the people of Bayelsa State to determine who they feel is the best to represent them. I have set out to do what I'm doing because I am driven by a passion to serve the best interests of our people. For the good of all and for the love of Bayelsa State, these are the reasons why I'm running. It's up to everybody to run. And at the end of the day, it is like a beauty parade. The people will decide who they feel best captures their aspirations, their hopes, and their desires going forward.
If I ask a follow-up, sir.
Sure.
The restoration group. Some people have been saying that the number coming up, the number of aspirants coming up from the camp, that the camp may rupture or may have, some difficulties in aligning forces. When it comes to the leader, would it not disrupt, not affect the cohesion?
No, quite on the contrary. You know, elections are not about aligning forces. Elections are about aligning interests, aligning hopes, aligning aspirations. We're not going to war. We're coming out, and then, you know, when you allow people to express their interests, to tell us, like I'm telling you now, why I believe I am the best candidate or the best person to meet the hopes and aspirations of Bayelsa State people. It's about articulating what you want to achieve. So elections are about giving people a voice, giving them a platform to articulate why they believe they should be the governor of the state. I believe that I have had the privilege, especially, of being a commissioner twice in this government. I currently serve as the Secretary of Government. I have been at the center of a lot of the parallel developments, unprecedented things that have happened. I've been part of it. I have been part of the passion of His Excellency Governor Dixon, who has led us excellently well in entrenching a new direction for the John Nation, for Bayelsa State and the John Nation by extension. And I find myself today, as a member of that team, deeply convinced that we must consolidate on what has been achieved and expand the frontiers even further. So, quite on the contrary, it would not lead to any rupture or any fracture, any disunity or any problems. What it would rather do is allow us to all ventilate our views, air our positions, convince ourselves, and then, in the typical democratic way for which we are known, we will begin to align ourselves around who is best positioned to serve the interests of our state. Once that happens, we'll line ourselves up and do the best for whoever emerges as candidates. That's what it's about. If you look even in America today, I'm sure you're following events in America. I think the Democratic Party has over 20, and it hasn't led to any and they're debating. If you look at the Conservative Party that is about to have a new leader, there are quite a number of them. And then people begin to align. And some begin to either align with others or some, stay to the very end. And then the voters will determine. So it's actually the best thing that can happen. Bayelsa State is experiencing, for the first time, a proper transition. As you know, in the history of governance of the state. I mean, this is the first time that is happening. And the best thing you can do is let the space be open up for everybody to express their interest, to show if they have what it takes, and then the public will decide.
Okay.
Leadership.
Leadership. Chibuzo is my name.
Thank you.
You are the SSG of the state, an integral member of the restoration group, as I presume. And you intend to take over from the current governor. What areas do you think you want to improve on if you assume office?
Thank you for that question. This government has achieved unparalleled things in building, an excellent foundation. In the areas of infrastructure, today we have an international airport. In the next month or so, that airport will be open for aviation traffic. We have opened up the state with major road projects, especially in the state with the kind of very difficult terrain that we have. We have also invested massively in education. We have over 16 boarding schools with free feeding, free tuition in the state. We've invested massively in education with universities as well. We have 2 new universities in the state. In healthcare, we have also massively invested in ensuring that every ward of the state has a primary healthcare facility and also secondary general hospitals across the local governments in the state. We've done a lot of work. This government has achieved a lot. Now, for me, what is important is to consolidate on these things that we've done so that we keep ensuring that these areas are maintained and fortified. Then, for me, the next big task for Bayelsa State is to expand the economy. When I was Commissioner for Trade, Industry and Investment, one of the things we achieved was developing the first statewide across the nation a state-level industrial policy. We did this in partnership with the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, and we want to now build on that to ensure that we leverage the abundant gas Bayelsa State has to create industries or to attract industries that depend on gas, power, and other kinds of industries that depend on gas. So that's one area. The other area we want to expand on is in areas where we have comparative advantage, like the fishing industry, to ensure that we grow that, and also in other areas like cassava production and so on. So we want to expand the economy, we want to create jobs. I think that for me is the next major task for us in Bayelsa State over the next 4 years. To expand the currently we are typically a civil service state, and we want to expand that. And we have the potential to do so with the abundant natural resources we have, to create the secondary values that we can and expand the economy. That would be my main task, in addition to consolidating on the things we've achieved so far.